Aww.
But it just was a closeness we'd get with. We never got in a place that I felt uncomfortable. The first night we was in Alexander City, the bed fell in with us, and I swear we wasn't doing nothing.
Oh, now come on.
No, no, because we'd been traveling in Herbert, and we had an old metal suitcase. You saw the heck with it. We got it out of the closet, put it under, and they, if Eva and Billy and later didn't tease us about
Breaking the bed. I bet they did.
But you know, you go into a different place. I wouldn't want to go across the street and stay with the girls. But it was just different those days.
It was very different.
Probably didn't lock the doors.
We didn't lock the doors in Port Arthur.
And Selma, Alabama, lived, had this big old room, and the kitchen was right next to it, and across the hall there was a man, and he was an alcoholic. Well, Miss Sudie owned the place, and she said she had bars on her windows, and the windows come all the way to the street, and you could just see the side, you know, as the people walked down the sidewalk, they were just there. Well, Herbert was working nights. That's after we come from West Virginia, and I was literally petrified there at night by myself. Couldn't close the windows. She didn't have air conditioning. And Miss Sudie told me one day, said, now, Golda, I told her I was afraid. She said, don't be afraid of that man. I said, he's not going to hurt you. I said, oh, I ain't worried about him hurting. No, I'm just glad when he comes in. He lived across the hall from me. And sometimes Herbert and his boss would come in before time. Herbert come to that window, and boy, you talk about calling Golda, Golda. All I had was that 410 on a pistol stock. And I said, will that thing shoot, will that kill somebody? He said, it'll kill a bunch of folks in your farm. Then we lived in Belleville, but we had the trailer then. We had the trailer in Liberty. We didn't take it to Beaumont. God, I don't know where all over Texas we lived.
I didn't realize you'd lived all over the place like that.
Huh?
I didn't realize you'd lived all over the place like that.
Oh, yeah. That's what everybody said, traveling. I said, I've been there and done that.
That probably explains why you're not a big traveler now.
No. What was it? I'm trying to think where I guess we was coming in from Alabama when I was pregnant with Dennis. Oh, we lived in Carthage, Texas, when I was pregnant with Dennis. And I'd sit up there and that old trailer going like this on that car, and I could just sleep. Here I was pregnant.
You were tired too, yeah.
We lived in a park in Carthage, and I come back here to the doctor all the time.
Ah.
From Carthage, Texas. I can't remember where all we lived. Because as the pipeline moved, you moved.
What was your most favorite place?
I don't guess I really had a favorite place. It would just move on. And with the trailer those days, all you had to do was throw a pillow up in with the dishes, and it would just ride on. I rode with a pitcher of tea in the refrigerator.
Really?
Yep. It's going back, you know, it's
Wow.
I can't think of any other places that.
When did y'all move here to this house?
To this house, 54. Been here that long. University Drive just started it back off. And there wasn't no down to the bypass. And there was, Noe had barns over there with horses. David kept his Shetland in the backyard. He'd saddle that horse and ride him bareback, go over on Rosemary, cut through off of Cooner, and go to see Mary and Jean Locke. Mary'd say, I saw Mary, I said, David's coming, he's on his horse. And she'd call me and said, I hear the dogs are barking, he's almost in sight.
That's funny. That's funny.
But you couldn't do that nowadays.
Well, when did Mabel and Luther move into their house next door to Granny?
That was know, they did live in a little one on the corner where the auto deal is.
Mm-hmm.
Before her and me married, there was a little old bitty shotgun house there, and Mr. Flossie owned it, and they lived there. And then Ms. Ringhalter sold all these lots, and Luther bought that lot and built there. It would have been probably 40, when me married, 46, I guess. It's probably about 45, 46, something like that.
And Granny moved in when?
She moved in before we moved here.
So she moved in sometime after Mabel and Luther built, and you guys moved here in '54.
Luther halved a lot, I think, with Mama.
Luther what?
I think he had a big lot and he took...
Oh,
half,
he halved it with Mabel. I mean with
Mama.
Granny. Yeah.
But we had our trailer parked beside Mama's house, and Herbert saw this sign on this lot. We give the big sum of $400 for this lot.
Oh, wow. How long did it take you to build a house?
Oh, I don't know. He had it contracted, so I don't know how long it took him. Then we sold the trailer and moved in.
And the rest is history.
Yep.
And David was born when? Dennis was born in '51.
One, then he was born in 58 because there's 7 years difference. Then David was born here.
Right.
In old St. Joe. And so was Dennis.
He was born at St. Joseph.
David?
Dennis was born at St. Joseph.
Yeah. The old St. Joseph over across the tracks. And David
Oh,
was
downtown. Was St. Joseph downtown, or where it is now?
Uh-huh. Grace come up, her and Wallace and Norman and Sybil come up here to a ball game when Dennis was born. And he come a northern in the 4th of October. And
It's early.
they didn't bring their coats. Grace come to the hospital and she said, "How you like my coat?" She said, "I don't want mine." She said, "We didn't bring any coats." She said, I don't know what Wallace and Norman were doing at the ball game. They probably used somebody's." And she told me she was pregnant with Pat
Yeah.
when she come to the hospital.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you'd gone down there after Dewar died, and you were pregnant then, weren't you?
I was pregnant with,
You were pregnant when you went down after Dewar died, weren't you?
yes, sick as a dog.
You went down there to help her, and you
And
said,
she was helping me.
Yeah.
She'd make me some tea, give me some crack. Till my feet had hit the floor, I'd start running for the bathroom. And you know, when I come home, never vomited again. Dr. Smith said it was
Good nurse.
it was the stress.
stress and that.
Yeah.
And I can remember that Grace needed to go downtown for something, and she said, "I don't want to go by myself. I don't get what she had to get, something she had to do." And I said, "I can make it." It was up in the day. She
Yeah.
said, "I don't want to run in." She's like I was. She didn't want to run into anybody that she'd have to talk to about
Right.
doing.
Right.
And I went to town with her. I remember that.
Right.
And what was it? Good and... No, Good was gone. I'm thinking... Seems like Herbert and I went to see a show that George said go see. That is what he had told Grace. It was a good movie.
Right.
We went to a movie and Fort Arthur, Herbert and I did when I was down there.
Yeah.
And Herbert, I know I've told you the story about when he was hauling meat in Port Arthur and he was driving his meat truck. Well, Grace needed a loaf of bread. So George and Herbert were going to go get the bread. And George wanted to know if he could drive that meat truck. Herbert said, "Yeah." Come back, he said, "Now you talk about scared. He was in the road ditch more than he was on the street. He wild as a buck with that. And he was laughing. He come in, you know, and Herbert said he was laughing the whole time.
Deward was?
George was.
And Herbert was probably white-knuckled, huh?
Yeah, Herbert was with him. He said. But that's just some of the things that we went through and did. And one time we come home in that truck, Ruth and Willie and Herbert and I. One weekend we put lawn chairs in the. It was like
In the back of the pickup?
There was a van like, and we sat in those lawn chairs.
Where were y'all coming home from? The country, or?
We was coming from Houston to the country.
Oh. So y'all loaded up in Port Arthur and went through Houston and picked up Ruth and Willie?
We were living in Houston.
Oh, I didn't realize you lived in Houston.
Yeah, we rented their apartment for a few days.
Willie and, oh, the duplex?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I forgot living in Houston. Yeah, we lived in Houston too.
Jeez, you were all over the place.
It was, you know, when you don't have anybody but each other, it don't bother you to move.
That's true. Well, it wasn't like you'd accumulated a lot of stuff.
I said, I can imagine putting what I own in that car.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You carry what towels you need, your sheets, whether if you're going to need a blanket, and what few dishes it takes to feed 2 people, and how many pots and pans can you use.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Mm-mm-mm. Good memories.
Yeah, it's good memories when you think about this guy over here that just moved in. He said he's a teacher from going to teach A&M for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at his license plates. He's from Georgia. And oh Lord, one of my dear friends was from Macon. We went over there from Bessemer. It wasn't too far. So, but I got a note from her daughter-in-law said Jean had died, so
Yeah.
everybody probably did except, well, I guess Jean and Henry and Calvin and all of them are gone that we were pipeline with.
Yeah.
But you know, that's funny. Just like Jean was raised an only child, and I'd fix me a cup of soup before we went to town to go to the movie. Jean would go in the drugstore and pay double what I paid for my can of soup just to get that heated and sit there and eat her can of soup.
Mm-hmm.
But before payday, Henry was borrowing money from her.
Yep. Yep. There's a reason why.
It's a way of life. It's the way some people do.
Yep.
And I kind of budgeted ours. I wanted it to make, and we had to have enough to make it through the winter. When we come back to Normandy and park that trailer, we had to have enough money to live, make a car payment,